Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again. You guys are good. Man, it always fills my heart with joy when I stop by and then we communicate, we talk. You guys alright? Man, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching MisterJaay from. It's always an honor to come through to you. And if this is your first time seeing this face, man, hey, I'm MisterJaay, man, and I am proudly motherland on this platform. Yes, MisterJaay's Reactions YouTube channel is proudly motherland. We talk about a whole lot of things coming out of the continent and affecting our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Let me adjust myself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to talk about the US is pushing for Africa to have 2 permanent seats in the Security Council under the United Nations. I wanted to talk about that. But before we do get started, I want you to pause for a minute, man. Hey, why are you not part of the channel? Hit that subscribe button, man. Don't you want to see us grow? Yes, help a brother grow. And for those of you who want to join, you can contribute, you can donate, man. Hey, $1 here, it doesn't matter whatever you have. I would deeply appreciate that, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's not waste a whole lot of time. So we all have been watching what has been going on in New York with the United Nations. You know, they come together. I call it come together. And if you are like MisterJaay, once I'm watching these come togethers, because if you look at it, a bunch of countries come together, only 5 countries actually can make a change. I will get to that point in a little bit later on. But they come together and they talk, and whenever I watch these things at the UN, I always look at the part that has to do with motherland, with Africa, because that is really where my heart and my soul is. I always look at what comes out, what our leaders are going to say, and what the UN in general would say about our continent. Yes, it is our continent. You need to treat it as such. You feel me? Now, one of the first things that I took out after the whole come together is the announcement by the U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Greenfield, and she said America is going to allow. They're advocating for 2 permanent member seats in the Security Council. However, these 2 African permanent members will not have the power to veto. And when I heard that, I was like, oh man, the disrespect for the continent is still ongoing. I mean, and to think that this is coming out of the mouth of a descendant from that continent, it's a pity to me. It just goes to tell you that some of us have been so brainwashed that we don't even get that connection. Now, let me just say this. There are non-permanent members already in the Security Council, but this time around, they're like, let's be open, let's bring Africa in. I will tell you a few things, then I get to the whole nitty-gritty. First thing, I do see that they are starting to be worried about the influence that China and Russia, they are having in Africa. Mind you, China and Russia in recent years, they have been one of the biggest players when it comes to Africa growth and everything. Investment from China, investment from Russia, military aid, we all know that. I don't want to dive into that. But they are starting to be worried because they are seeing that many African leaders prefer to work with China and Russia rather than to work with them. And they are losing that grip. So what do? Hey, let's invite 2 members in. Let's tell them that they will come in, but they want to have a veto power. The second step is this, man. The thing of South Africa actually taking the adopted baby boy Israel to the ICC and the way it is going and the way the world is seeing Israel, America was like, these folks are, they are not trying to play ball with us. If they can go against our adopted golden boy, I mean, who knows what will happen in the future. So let's calm them down. Let's bring them in and give them 2 permanent member seats. And I kid you not, For some reason, I do think that South Africa will be one of those permanent member states, and maybe Nigeria or some northern African country. That is just what is in my mind. When the lady talked about 2 permanent seats in the Security Council, I was like, these are the 2 countries that they will go for. And they will go for South Africa because they are trying to stop South Africa's momentum at the ICC, exposing the diabolic thing that Israel is doing in the Gaza Strip. But let's come back to this whole United Nations permanent seat in the Security Council for 2 African nations. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever gone to a house, to a party? Imagine yourself, you're going to a wedding, and they sit you on the table. Everybody's having a meal. You're just looking at them, but you cannot eat. This is what they want to do to these 2 members from Africa continent. They are trying to disrespect more than 1.3 billion people to bring them in, and they cannot even vote on issues that affect the world. The United Nations has been in place for over 80 years. I want you, in all honesty, tell me, has this organization been fair? I want you to let me know. Mind you, before the United Nations, we had the Leagues of Nations, which Hitler proved that it was a toothless bulldog. It has been that way, and it is okay for us to say that the United Nations is BS. They are not doing anything. It's an organization of cliques. People go to these, I call them, come together every now and then to just show up and just waste taxpayers' money. People from Latin America, people from Southeast Asia, people from Asia, people from Eastern Europe, they just go there to have fun. Because at the end of the day, just 5 countries have the power to impact change. Just 5. And let me say this, when you invite a whole continent, 2 members from Africa to come into the permanent member seats of the Security Council, and they do not have power to veto certain things, it starts to, the question is, why are they afraid to let the continent of Africa has the power to veto on things? Because they know that the world is not balanced. This whole thing has been proven. Look at what is happening in Palestine. Look at what is happening to Gaza. More than 43,000 people have died, majority children. Everybody has been crying, stop the fighting, stop the killing, stop everything. But you see, they are not bothered. Look at the permanent members, United Security Council, France, America, and HACOS. They are all supporting who? The aggressor Israel. I want to end this vlog by saying this. Do you think that it is okay to have these 2 member seats from member states as permanent members in the Security Council from Africa, and don't give them a veto power? And I want to say this. I want unfortunately, this is wishful thinking for MisterJaay. I hope that Africa would deny and reject this. If you want to fix a situation, fix it all the way. For 80 years, Africa has not been in that Security Council. And now you want to bring them in. But you want to bring them in and clip the wings? Oh, they are still scared that Africa is moving towards China and Russia. And this is going to make if these 2 members come in and then they have this power to veto anything that the other members want to do against China and Russia. Of course, you know that these 2 members are going to veto that. This is crazy. Let's just get rid of this veto power nonsense and let everybody be able to vote. We have seen that. People voted and they condemned Israel on this whole mess that is happening in Gaza Strip. I will end this vlog by saying this. I want you to leave a comment, engage with MisterJaay, and let me know. Is this good news for the continent, or this is just another colonialist, imperialist mind game so that they can control people like puppets? That is my time. Be good, be nice, man. Hey, all the best. Stay blessed.